Hey guys, so I'm going to be showing you how to use Phoenix Tuner. So first of all, you need to make sure you're connected to the robot for this to pop up. So you can do that by connecting to your robot's Wi-Fi or connected to it via Ethernet cable or printer cable. Once you have this screen, make sure to click reload for all the motors to show up. And you can select any motor and go into it. So once you have a motor, once you want to check which motor it is, click blink. Then the LEDs on the bottom of the motor will start to blink very rapidly, and it'll make a slight audio noise. So that way you can tell if you're looking at the right motor. When you want to change the ID, just type it in here and click set, and then you can change the name by doing the exact same thing. So to graph anything, make sure you click here to go to plot, and you have to click play to start recording. Here you can select anything that you want to track, and this would show up on the y-axis. So for right now, we can plot position, velocity, and acceleration. As you can see, when I start, nothing's happening because the motor isn't moving yet, but you can see that it's showing up on this graph. So next, you might want to configure your motor, and you can go over here into the config tab. To switch back, that's the info tab here where you can change everything, the ID and name. When you go over to config, this is where you can change a bunch of the different motor settings. So the important ones to know is the direction of the motor. So that you can change here. The neutral mode, so if it should brake or should coast, and then your different current limits. So those you really change here. Whenever you're doing PID, right below that is going to be your slot 0 PID coefficients. So all of your different coefficients and the type of gravity and feed forward that you're going to be using. So when you want to run your motor, there's a lot of different ways you can do that, and you can select them using this drop-down menu. So as you can see, there's a bunch here. You can just select whichever one you want to use. So when you actually want to run your motor, make sure you're enabled on driver station, because if you're not, that won't work. Okay, so make sure you're enabled on driver station, and then also enable here. Now we could just select here, and it would set that power to the motor. As you can see, if you start to play, you can see how the position is changing, the velocity and acceleration are changing, are pretty constant though. Like you can see here, velocity is pretty constant. Acceleration spikes when it's changing and then stops, as you can kind of see here. And then you can just pause to stop your tracking, and then set the motor power back to 0 and just disable. So there's a bunch of different modes you want to know. Duty cycle out can just set just raw power to your motor. You can also use voltage out. This one will set a voltage to the motor. So right now, this is the voltage it's trying to use. And then here you can see that the velocity is directly dependent on the voltage you give, and you're just accelerating whenever you're changing velocity. Then there are a few other modes you might want to use, such as position voltage and motion magic voltage. So keep those in mind whenever you're using Phoenix Tuner. That's pretty much it.